Imagine walking into a dusty attic, your fingers trembling as they brush over a forgotten treasure, the glint of history catching your eye. A 1965 United States Washington $quarter coin resting quietly among old papers, its worn edges whispering stories of decades past. Then your gaze drifts across to a 1973 United States Washington $quarter coin, slightly heavier in presence, yet carrying a legacy of a generation, each curve of its design holding secrets of the minting presses that shaped it. Your heart racing as you spot a 1995 United States Washington $quarter coin, its subtle shine daring you to uncover its past. The journey through American history held in these small circular time capsules, each coin a witness to the evolution of commerce and culture, the artistry of engravers, the mystery of rare finds, the thrill of collectors who have searched for decades, and now it is your turn to hold, to examine, to wonder as we explore the untold stories behind these Washington $quarter, the hidden numismatic insights, the grading secrets, and the rarest pathways that have made these coins the legends they are today. Join me on Rare Coins Info as we dive deep into the captivating world of American quarters. Imagine holding a 1965 United States Washington $quarter coin, your fingers brushing the cool metal, the weight solid in your hand, knowing this coin is not just currency but a vessel of history. The worn edges hinting at decades of circulation, each scratch and mark a silent witness to hands that passed it along. Imagine the minting story behind this coin. The Philadelphia and Denver mints working tirelessly to produce coins that would fuel a growing economy. The subtle changes in metal composition in 1965, shifting from 90% silver to clad, giving this quarter a unique place in numismatic history. As a collector, you recognize immediately the significance of this transition. The artistry of John Flanagan's profile of George Washington staring boldly into the past, the reverse, featuring the bald eagle perched majestically. The details of feathers and wings still visible if held under the right light. Imagine inspecting it carefully with a loupe. The rim edges, the denticles, the clarity of the letters, every small detail matters. Understanding that coin grading will drastically affect its market value, professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC provide precise standards. The coin's condition categorized as circulated, yet with potential high-grade specimens hidden among piles of common coins. Think of the dimensions: 24.3 millimeters in diameter, thickness of 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.67 grams. These measurements seemingly mundane but essential for authentication. Consider the historical context: 1965. America, the post-war era, civil rights movements beginning, quarters changing hands in diners, banks, street vendors, each coin a fragment of living history. Imagine the thrill of discovering such a coin in your collection, the possibility of it being worth far more than you ever imagined. But patience is key. Understanding the coin's journey, the metal's integrity, the die strikes, the minting errors that sometimes appear. These are clues to rarity. The more you learn to observe minute variations, the closer you get to uncovering extraordinary finds. The story of this coin is not just in its date, but in its circulation, its preservation. The eyes of numismatists searching for perfect condition, the coins that slip through grading to become legends in their own right. Imagine holding it next to a magnifying glass, noting the luster, the faded or brilliant surfaces, imagining it once sat in a cash register, now waiting for a collector who understands its story, understanding that to sell this coin effectively, authenticity is everything. PCGS and NGC certified coins command confidence from buyers. Selling through professional auction houses or verified dealers ensures maximum return. The thrill of a buyer recognizing the coin's significance. You can almost hear the clink of it landing in a collector's hands, the narrative of value and history intertwining. A coin no longer just metal, but a bridge to the past, a legacy captured in 5.67 grams of silver and copper-clad alloy. Now imagine exploring all the tiny marks, the cleaning lines, or even minor toning that can add character, sometimes enhancing appeal, sometimes detracting, yet always telling a story. Imagine the suspense of uncovering a high-grade specimen. The excitement that pulses through collectors when they find a coin in unexpectedly pristine condition. And yet, one must tread carefully, knowing market dynamics, understanding buyer psychology, and appreciating the artistry and history locked within this small, unassuming quarter. Imagine turning the coin gently in your fingers, noticing how light dances across its surface, the subtle play of silver and copper tones, the faint patina that only decades of circulation could create, envisioning the thousands of hands that have held this 1965 United States Washington $quarter coin, from shopkeepers to students, each leaving a trace. And yet some coins escaped the roughness of daily life, entering collections, carefully stored in albums or protective holders. These coins sought after by numismatists who know that even circulated examples can carry immense historical significance. Imagine the luster preserved in certain areas, the rim still strong, the portrait of Washington revealing fine details, every line on his hair, every curve on his bust, telling the story of artistry captured in metal, and the reverse, with the eagle's wings stretching wide, the intricate feathers visible, the lettering crisp if well preserved. As you examine the coin under magnification, you begin to appreciate why grading matters. PCGS and NGC employ rigorous standards, assigning grades from MS to PR. Circulated coins like yours may fall between VG and XF, yet occasionally, hidden gems surface with near mint state qualities despite decades in pocket circulation. Imagine reading the provenance records of similar coins, auction histories where collectors paid extraordinary sums for coins in comparable condition. Understanding that historical context elevates value, the 1965 quarter emerges after the silver standard was removed, marking a pivotal shift in U.S. coinage. A story not just of commerce but of national change. And you start to realize the subtle minting anomalies that can exist: doubled dies, repunched mint marks, small die cracks. These imperfections often turning ordinary coins into legends. Imagine holding a coin with just the right toning, that golden or bluish hue adding charm and character, attracting eye of the most discerning collectors. And then there is the weight: 5.67 grams, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.3 millimeters, precision critical for authentication. Counterfeit coins exist, yet careful measurement and professional verification ensures collectors are confident. Imagine the suspense of discovering an unusual variant, the excitement bubbling as you cross-reference mint records. Then you start thinking about the right way to sell. Never impulsively, always with certification. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers provide trusted platforms. Verified dealers with years of experience ensure your coin reaches the right hands. And imagine the satisfaction when a collector finally sees your coin, recognizing the combination of condition, historical significance, and subtle uniqueness. The story of the coin and its journey resonating across decades, the thrill of numismatic discovery as collectors share their insights, tips on storage, cleaning, and handling. Understanding that even minute differences in grading can change value dramatically, imagining the conversation between buyer and seller, the excitement palpable, your coin now not just a piece of metal, but a vessel of history, connecting generations, the artistry, the minting decisions, the circulation marks, the very essence of American currency now in your hands, every scratch, every tone telling a story, and as you study it, you feel a deep appreciation for numismatic scholarship, for the careful records kept by professional graders, for the legacy embedded in every Washington quarter minted in 1965, the anticipation of uncovering exceptional examples, the allure of coins that transcend monetary value to become treasured artifacts. Imagine yourself cataloging the coin, noting condition, die variations, patina, historical context, and preparing to present it to the world, understanding that for collectors, This is not merely buying and selling, but preserving a piece of American history. Each coin a miniature museum, every detail a chapter in a larger narrative, every careful glance through a loop revealing secrets, stories, and untold legacies waiting to be shared with fellow enthusiasts. And the journey has only just begun, as the coin whispers promises of discovery, rare finds, and the thrill of uncovering history hidden in plain sight. Your heart racing as you imagine the perfect specimen, the perfect grade, and the recognition it will bring in numismatic circles, the excitement building, the story deepening, and the adventure continuing. Imagine the excitement building as you study every angle of your 1965 United States Washington $quarter coin, turning it under the light, tracing the edges of the lettering, the subtle details of the eagle's feathers on the reverse, noticing how the high points have worn gently, yet the overall design remains intact, the profile of Washington standing proud as it has for decades, and as you continue, you begin to appreciate how each mark, each tiny scratch, each toning variation tells a story of its circulation. Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin with minimal wear, even though it has passed through countless hands, the luster faint but present, catching the light in a way that hints at near-mint state quality, understanding that grading from professional companies like PCGS and NGC is critical to establishing its value. Imagine the meticulous process of submission, careful handling, the anticipation as experts evaluate strike, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal, realizing that a high grade can significantly enhance desirability, and yet even circulated coins hold immense historical significance, the 1965 quarter marking the shift from 90% silver to clad composition, a pivotal moment in American coinage. Imagine reading about this coin in auction records, discovering instances where collectors paid extraordinary amounts for similar specimens. The allure of rarity combined with historical context, and as you examine the coin, noting its diameter of 24.3 millimeters, thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and weight of 5.67 grams, you understand the importance of these details for authentication. Imagine the tiny anomalies that might appear: die cracks, doubled dies, repunched mint marks. Subtle irregularities that can transform an ordinary coin into a legendary find. And now you start to imagine the right way to present and sell this coin, never rushing, always prioritizing certification, professional auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers ensuring your coin reaches the right collectors. Imagine the excitement as a buyer recognizes the combination of condition, rarity, and historical significance, appreciating the story embedded in every curve, every letter, and every surface mark. And as you think about the history, envision the journey this coin has taken since 1965, circulating through the hands of Americans, witnessing moments in time, transactions, and events, finally finding its way into the hands of a collector who values both history and artistry. Imagine documenting your coin, noting subtle variations, toning and provenance, preparing it for the eyes of the numismatic world, every small detail enhancing its narrative, and as you hold it, feeling the weight of history, the connection to past generations, the artistry of John Flanagan, and the precision of the mint, imagining the suspense and joy of sharing this story with other collectors, the thrill of knowing that your coin is part of a legacy, and as you explore storage methods, display options, and careful handling, realizing that preservation is as important as discovery, the coin now not just currency, but an artifact, a tangible link to history. Imagine the conversations you might have with fellow collectors, discussing die variations, minting history, grading nuances, and the subtle interplay of condition and rarity. Each discussion deepening appreciation, and as you contemplate selling, understanding the importance of timing, audience, and platform, ensuring that your coin reaches those who value it most, and imagine the satisfaction when a collector recognizes the significance, understanding the story of the 1965 Washington quarter, the journey from mint to market, the artistry, history, and rarity converging. And finally, As you hold it one last time, imagining future generations doing the same, appreciating its legacy, valuing its journey, understanding the thrill of numismatic discovery, and knowing that coins like this are not just metal but time capsules, storytelling vessels, bridges to the past, and treasures for the present, connecting collectors across decades, inspiring curiosity, and ensuring that the story of the 1965 United States Washington $quarter coin will continue to captivate, educate, and thrill those who seek the beauty, history, and artistry captured in every coin. And as you prepare for the next chapter in your collection, the adventure only deepens, the excitement continues, and the legacy lives on through your hands and through the eyes of future collectors. Imagine holding a 1973 United States Washington $quarter coin, the cool metal firm in your hand, the familiar profile of George Washington staring boldly forward, the intricate details of his hair, the contours of his face, the precision of John Flanagan's artistry captured in every line, the reverse displaying the American bald eagle with wings spread wide, talons clutching arrows and an olive branch, each feather detailed with care, yet softened by decades of circulation. Imagine examining it under a magnifying loupe, noticing tiny scratches, faint toning, subtle marks from use, each telling the story of its journey through countless hands. Imagine the historical context, 1973 America, a nation amidst economic change, cultural evolution, social milestones, each coin passing through stores, banks, diners, vending machines, silently witnessing everyday life and history. Imagine the thrill as you inspect it, seeing remnants of luster in protected areas, the rim strong, lettering clear, understanding that grading by PCGS and NGC can dramatically influence its numismatic value. Imagine submitting it for certification, careful handling, anticipation, as experts evaluate strike quality, surface preservation, eye appeal, overall grade, the difference between XF, AU, or MS grades determining its place in the collector world. Imagine the subtle minting anomalies that occasionally appear. Doubled dies, repunched mint marks, tiny die cracks, small variations that can turn an ordinary coin into a legendary rarity. Imagine weighing the coin, 5.67 grams, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.3 millimeters, measurements essential for authentication. Imagine the satisfaction of precise verification, each detail reinforcing confidence in your treasure. Imagine its journey, from mint to circulation, passing through the hands of countless Americans, observing moments of daily life. Imagine cataloging it meticulously, noting condition, toning, minor scratches, die variations, provenance, preparing it for auction or dealer presentation. Imagining the excitement of sharing its story with fellow collectors, discussing grading nuances, minting details, and preservation methods. Imagine educating newer collectors about careful handling, authentication, and the importance of documentation. Imagine researching auction records, seeing how similar coins performed, anticipating market trends, imagining the satisfaction when recognition and reward are achieved for preserving a piece of history. Imagine holding it gently, appreciating the artistry, imagining how every small toning variation, mark, or scratch contributes to its narrative. Imagining collectors studying it for die varieties, mint anomalies, circulation marks, imagining the thrill of discovering a high-grade specimen among circulated coins, imagining suspense and excitement as hidden treasures reveal themselves, imagining the story in every detail, from rim strength to feather clarity on the eagle, imagining careful evaluation of eye appeal, strike, and surface preservation, imagining the coin's journey from mint to collector, thousands of coins produced in 1973, yet only a few survive in superior condition, imagining subtle toning differences enhancing uniqueness, making your coin stand out among millions. Imagining presenting it to auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers, reputable dealers ensuring serious collectors recognize its significance, imagining the thrill as bids rise, recognition of condition, rarity, and historical importance, generating intense interest, imagining the coin connecting generations of collectors, each fascinated by its artistry, history, and journey, imagining its story continuing through your collection, sharing insights, teaching grading nuances, mint history, storage tips, handling guidance, imagining excitement as collectors discover subtle die features or minting quirks, imagining the suspense of uncovering hidden gems in your own collection, imagining every scratch, toning, and mark telling a narrative of circulation and preservation, imagining satisfaction of seeing collectors value it appropriately, understanding balance of rarity, historical context and condition, imagining presence in discussions, presentations, and educational content, inspiring curiosity, appreciation, and knowledge, imagining sharing this story on Rare Coins Info, captivating, educating, thrilling, imagining future collectors discovering it decades from now, appreciating artistry, condition, rarity, and story, imagining connections between past and present enthusiasts, imagining the coin-bridging generations, preserving history, imagination, artistry, and numismatic legacy, imagining emotional excitement of collectors holding, studying, and appreciating this remarkable piece, imagining story unfolding with each glance, inspection, expert opinion, imagining how professional grading, auction presentation, and careful preservation enhance significance, imagining thrill of knowing your 1973 Washington quarter is more than currency. It is a treasure, a fragment of history, a bridge to American heritage, imagining sharing insights about selling, ensuring it reaches serious collectors, selecting platforms maximizing recognition, imagining emotional satisfaction as a knowledgeable buyer recognizes condition, rarity, and historical significance, excitement building as coin finds its rightful place in a collection, imagining artistry immortalized in 5.67 grams of metal, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.3 millimeters, imagining every detail contributing to story, imagining collectors analyzing it for years, discovering nuances, variations, subtleties, imagining suspense and thrill of uncovering secrets, imagining narrative extending far beyond present, connecting past, present, and future collectors, imagining every detail, every mark, every subtle toning contributing to legacy, imagining collectors sharing, learning, buying, selling, appreciating, preserving, imagining excitement of numismatic discovery, education, preservation, imagining story alive on Rare Coins Info, inspiring curiosity and passion, imagining journey continuing, collectors worldwide recognizing value, artistry, history of the 1973 United States Washington $quarter coin, imagining legacy preserved, story shared, thrill experienced, historical and numismatic significance appreciated, adventure never-ending, excitement unceasing, connection between generations strengthened, artistry, history, rarity celebrated, story living on through collectors, enthusiasts, educators, imagining coin as vessel of history, bridge across decades, treasure inspiring wonder, appreciation, passion, imagining every detail analyzed, every nuance discovered, every collector captivated, imagining journey continuing infinitely as coin travels, educates, inspires, preserves legacy of American numismatic history, imagining your coin at center of narrative, connecting collectors, generations, enthusiasts through artistry, history, rarity, story, imagining story never ending, excitement never ceasing, legacy everlasting, adventure eternal, imagining 1973. United States Washington $quarter coin, securing place as one of the most fascinating, cherished, celebrated quarters in American numismatic history. Imagine holding a 1995D United States Washington $quarter coin, the cool metal firm in your hand, the familiar profile of George Washington staring forward with timeless dignity, the delicate details of his hair, the contours of his face, and the subtle artistry of John Flanagan perfectly captured in mint, the reverse displaying the American bald eagle, wings stretched wide, talons clutching arrows and an olive branch, each feather finely sculpted yet softened by circulation. Imagine examining it under a magnifying loupe, noting the smallest scratches, faint toning, subtle marks from decades of hands and pockets, each mark telling the story of a coin that has journeyed through countless Americans. Imagine the historical context. 1995. America, a nation experiencing economic growth, technological advances, cultural evolution, each coin passing silently through transactions, stores, banks, vending machines, quietly witnessing the rhythms of everyday life. Imagine your excitement as you inspect it, seeing remnants of luster in protected areas, the rim intact, lettering clear despite decades of circulation, understanding that professional grading by PCGS and NGC dramatically influences the numismatic value. Imagine submitting it for certification, careful handling, anticipation as experts. Evaluate strike, surface preservation, eye appeal, overall grade. The difference between XF, AU, or MS grades, determining its place in the collector world. Imagine the thrill of spotting subtle minting anomalies, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, tiny variations that can elevate an ordinary coin to rare and legendary status. Imagine weighing the coin, 5.67 grams, thickness, 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.3 millimeters, measurements essential for authentication. Imagining satisfaction as precise scales and calipers confirm its legitimacy, every detail reinforcing your confidence in this treasure. Imagine the coin's journey from the Denver Mint to circulation, thousands produced, yet only a few surviving in excellent condition. Imagine cataloging it meticulously, noting condition, toning, minor scratches, die variations, provenance, preparing it for auction or dealer presentation. Imagining the excitement of sharing its story with fellow collectors, discussing grading nuances, minting intricacies, preservation techniques. Imagine educating newer collectors on careful handling, authentication, and documentation. Imagining how this coin teaches lessons about rarity, circulation, and historical significance. Imagine researching auction records, observing how similar coins performed, anticipating market trends, imagining satisfaction when recognition and reward are achieved for preserving history. Imagine holding it gently, appreciating the artistry, imagining every scratch, toning variation, and mark contributing to its narrative. Imagining collectors examining it for die varieties, mint anomalies, circulation marks. Imagining thrill of discovering a high-grade specimen among circulated coins. Imagining suspense and excitement as hidden treasures reveal themselves. Imagining the story embedded in every detail, from rim strength to feather clarity on the eagle. Imagining careful evaluation of eye appeal, strike, and surface preservation. Imagining the coin's journey from mint to collector. Knowing that thousands were struck in 1995D, yet only a few survive in top condition. Imagining subtle toning differences enhancing uniqueness, making your coin stand out among millions. Imagining presenting it to professional auction houses such as Heritage or Stax Bowers, or reputable dealers, ensuring serious collectors recognize its significance. Imagining the thrill as bids climb, recognition of condition, rarity, and historical importance creating intense excitement. Imagining the coin connecting generations of collectors, each fascinated by its artistry, history, and journey. Imagining its story continuing through your collection, sharing insights, teaching grading nuances, mint history, storage tips, handling guidance. Imagining excitement as collectors discover subtle features, die varieties, or minting quirks. Imagining suspense of uncovering hidden gems in your own collection. Imagining every scratch, toning, and mark, telling the narrative of circulation and preservation. Imagining satisfaction of seeing collectors value it appropriately. Understanding the balance of rarity, historical context, and condition, imagining presence in discussions, presentations, and educational content, inspiring curiosity, appreciation, knowledge, imagining sharing this story on Rare Coins Info, captivating, educating, thrilling, imagining future collectors discovering it decades from now, appreciating artistry, condition, rarity, story, imagining connections between past and present enthusiasts, imagining coin bridging generations, preserving history, imagination, artistry, and numismatic legacy, imagining emotional excitement of collectors holding, studying, and appreciating this remarkable piece, imagining story unfolding with each glance, inspection, expert opinion, imagining how professional grading, auction presentation, and careful preservation enhance significance. Imagining thrill of knowing your 1995 D Washington quarter is more than currency. It is a treasure, a fragment of history, a bridge to American heritage. Imagining sharing insights about selling, ensuring it reaches serious collectors, selecting platforms, maximizing recognition, imagining emotional satisfaction as a knowledgeable buyer recognizes condition, rarity, historical significance, excitement building. As coin finds its rightful place in a collection, imagining artistry immortalized in 5.67 grams of metal, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.3 millimeters, imagining every detail contributing to story, imagining collectors analyzing it for years, discovering nuances, variations, subtleties, imagining suspense and thrill of uncovering its secrets, imagining narrative extending far beyond present, connecting past, present, and future collectors, imagining every detail, mark, subtle toning contributing to legacy, imagining collectors sharing, learning, buying, selling, appreciating, preserving, imagining excitement of numismatic discovery, education, and preservation, imagining story alive on Rare Coins Info, inspiring curiosity and passion, imagining journey continuing, collectors worldwide recognizing value, artistry, history of the 1995 D United States Washington $quarter coin, imagining legacy preserved, story shared, thrill experienced, historical and numismatic significance appreciated, adventure never ending, excitement unceasing, connection between generations strengthened, artistry, history, rarity celebrated, story living on through collectors, enthusiasts, educators, imagining coin as vessel of history, bridge across decades, treasure inspiring wonder, appreciation, passion, imagining every detail analyzed, every nuance discovered, every collector captivated, imagining journey continuing infinitely as coin travels, educates, inspires, preserves legacy of American numismatic history, imagining your coin at the center of this narrative, connecting collectors, generations, enthusiasts, through artistry, history, rarity, story, imagining story never ending, excitement never ceasing, legacy everlasting, adventure eternal, imagining 1995. D United States Washington $quarter coin, securing its place as one of the most fascinating, cherished, and celebrated quarters in American numismatic history, imagining cliffhangers in its grading, minting subtleties, potential anomalies awaiting discovery, imagining collector curiosity, imagining viewers of Rare Coins Info captivated, inspired, and educated, imagining the thrill of uncovering hidden stories, understanding circulation history, and the legacy preserved in this single quarter, imagining the excitement of sharing it with the world, educating, captivating, and thrilling collectors while connecting generations and preserving the artistry, history, and legacy of American coinage for decades to come.